YouTube people. Alright, so I thought that I would start doing some videos that were like based on frequently asked questions, like things to do with different diets or nutrition, because I do so much research and I'm thinking like I see the most like common questions again and again and again, and like they never get answered or people are still confused. So I'm thinking this is a great way for me to like help clear up things and give you guys some straight up answers to commonly asked questions. So one of the most interesting questions, and one that I researched a lot when I was learning about ketosis, was how to get into ketosis faster, because everyone does not want to go through the dreaded keto flu, which is where you feel like lethargic, tired, brain fog, you get muscle cramps, sometimes nausea, all these sorts of things. So I thought I would share that in a video for you today, and I'm going to be sharing it sort of in 4 key things that you should do, or 4 key steps to basically getting into ketosis as fast as possible. So first things first, the most obvious is basically eating low carb foods. So you want to be eating basically under 20 net carbs of 20 net carbs a day. So basically that means that that's carbohydrates minus your fiber intake. You want to be keeping that under 20 grams every single day. You want to keep your fat intake extremely high, as high as you can. I've said this in other videos, like in your first week of keto, don't worry so much about your calories or your intake, just eat until you're full. Aim for super high fat, 70% fat, 20% protein, 10% carbs. That's like a good range for the first week. So that's what I did. And you can have your net carbs up a little more, like towards like 30, 40 grams. The highest is about 50 grams. But you will be more likely to get into ketosis faster and go through less of the keto flu if you do keep your carbs as low as possible. So with that comes eating simple foods. Try and keep your foods like very basic for the first week, so you don't have to worry so much about counting carbs and stuff. Just eat kind of similar things every single day. So anyways, that is the first most obvious tip. Second, less obvious, is fasting. If you fast, it's actually better than eating low carb to get into ketosis, because when your body doesn't have any sort of source to go off of, it's going to use your glycogen stores that it already has in it. So by doing fasting, you're going to deplete your glycogen stores a lot faster. That's one thing. Plus, if you add in third thing, which is exercise, then you're going to deplete your stores even further. So if you're doing fasting plus exercise, then that's probably one of the fastest ways to get into ketosis. The type of exercise that's probably best for this is HIIT exercise, which is high intensity interval training, because that way you're like going full out intensity and then you're like letting your heart rate go back down. This sort of exercise specifically depletes your glycogen stores so much, and even like continuously after the exercise will continue to use your glycogen stores. So highly recommend doing HIIT exercise, like something like sprints on a bike or on the treadmill, or even just like sprinting outside, like anything like that. And then what else? You can also do resistance training. So in the similar way of like doing HIIT exercise, you can do depletion workouts with resistance training. So like doing high reps of exercises like weightlifting. So all of your regular like weightlifting exercises, just do like high reps of them basically until you burn out your muscle. This is kind of like depletion, so you're depleting all the glycogen in your muscles. So this is another great way. So if you combine the two, the cardio and the resistance training, this is going to be really great for getting rid of all the glycogen left over. And then your body's going to have no other choice but to use ketones for fuel. So those are the main tips. I have one last tip, which is caffeine. This is optional, but caffeine does raise like your heart rate. So in the way you are going to be using slightly more glycogen. Caffeine is just sort of like an extra bonus thing you can add on, but is again not like 100% necessary. The other techniques I'm sure will get you into ketosis just as fast, but yes, I say this as I currently just finished my coffee. If you do like bulletproof coffee, go for that. Similar thing. And yeah, that's all of the things I wanted to mention. And then if you do end up going through keto flu, I have a video on my tips for getting through keto flu, which were super helpful, and I wish that I knew it before I started keto myself, because the keto flu is awful. But basically, in short, just make sure you're getting magnesium, potassium, sodium, your electrolytes. Also make sure you're drinking lots of water, you're getting lots of sleep, not exercising too hard during this time because it will be sort of a hard period of transition. And then also just keeping your fat intake up, making sure protein is not too high, just moderate, and again, keeping your carbs under 20 to 50 net grams. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. I hope it helps some of you and you get into ketosis a little bit faster this way, and you get to avoid the negative effects of the keto flu. So let me know how this helped you, if it worked for you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.